Hey there, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
There she is if you're watching Facebook Live or YouTube Live from Ardmore, Oklahoma. See, I've always wanted to say that, right?
Yep.
Sonya Hunter. Sonya Hunter is back with us. She's author, speaker, podcaster, mother, wife. She does it all there. Sonya, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Doing well. And I have to ask, does the deer behind you have a name? Because I would like to talk to him.
So my husband was supposed to get rid of this deer.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
just
right.
one of his prized trophies.
Hey, that's a I don't know how many points. I'm not a hunter, but I if I were me, I would be talking to that deer all the time, probably. I'd call him Frank or something.
I feel like they follow you with their eyes.
I think they do, actually. Yeah.
Now that would be funny if somebody could put some kind of mechanism in that so that when people showed up, it did move the eyes. I think that'd be cool.
And
Right?
talk to you, make the mouth move.
Yeah. We had
awesome.
such a great time with you last time, and we love your story. You have an amazing story. Unsurvivable is the book that you put out about it. And before we catch up with you on that and the podcast, Christmas time at your house, what do you guys usually do? You've already decorated, no doubt, right? Are all the presents under the tree? And what do you guys usually do?
Well, this year we're just thankful to kind of be back celebrating again. Last year we kind of shut things down because of COVID and we didn't have our big get-togethers because we have big families. So we have lots of get-togethers. We have actually 4 different Christmases to get together with this year.
Wow.
So we cram everybody in 2 days, but hey, it works.
Man.
Now,
That's a busy Christmas right there.
Yeah.
It is a busy Christmas. And everybody comes to our house because it's easier with Connor. So
I was going to ask, is it all at one place? It's at your house then with Connor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody just comes here. So it makes it easier.
What is it that Connor wants this year? Or what is it well, I guess you probably shouldn't say what he's getting just in case he gets wind of this interview. But what is it that he looks forward to on Christmas?
Well, I'll tell you, I know my mom and husband are listening with Connor. So cover his ears, guys.
Yeah.
But give him time to cover real quick. We are actually, my husband and father-in-law are making him a handicap accessible swing for the backyard. So we had taken him to a park that has one where the wheelchair can pull up on it, and he loved it. It was just something different and something awesome. So that's his big gift he's getting.
Awesome. That's fun.
Yeah.
That is.
He's all about superheroes though. So
yeah,
lots of superhero stuff too.
Now remind us how old he is, because I remember the story and I've read a little more this morning prepping, but I just didn't put together the age. How old is he now?
He actually turned 17 last September. So,
wow.
Can you believe that?
No, it's a miracle because he wasn't supposed to survive a year after the accident happened.
Right.
And he was 19 months old when the accident happened. So
wow.
That's amazing. He really is.
And just to go back, there was an automobile accident, and Sonia's husband and one of her sons perished in the accident, and Connor was left severely injured. He's an amazing young man. The reason why I ask about the age is because I saw a picture of him, because I've seen other pictures, and I saw he has kind of a mustache. I'm like, look out, he's got facial hair.
Yes, he could have a full-on beard right now. And in fact, that's, for people who don't know, I did remarry in 2009.
Yes.
And my husband has 2 sons as well. And so they're funny because they try for like months to grow facial hair and get just little patches. And they're like, just let him grow his full beard.
No. He can do it. Let him do it.
So now we have the goatee, but I lost a bet to that. So we did a Facebook poll if Connor should get to have a goatee or not, and I lost the bet.
So the goatee is on the way, coming soon?
It's full there now.
All right.
How about that? That's awesome. Sonya Hunter, we're talking about her family and of course Connor, and we want you to read the book. She's got a book, Unsurvivable. It's the story of what happened, just the process, and she's also got a podcast as well. Now, since we talked to you last, have you gotten more traction on the book? What have you heard? What's going on with the book?
We have gotten a lot more traction. I'm actually working with Transparent Media Company, and they're an awesome company, just Christian. They're all Christians. God-loving people have a passion and a heart for our story and wanting to get it out there further. So right now they're helping me try to push it out there and get our story out there, because that's what I want, is for our story to be able to touch someone else's life or give someone hope that's going through something that I went through.
Yeah. And I mean, just the subtitle of the book, Finding the Rainbow and Even in the Darkest Storm, because a lot of people, especially in the past couple of years that we've gone through, there's a lot of people going through dark storms, whether they've lost a loved one to COVID or just lost a job or whatever. This is a book that offers so much hope for not just your situation, but any situation, really, right?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely throughout the book. I mean, there's so many stories throughout the book about all the miracles that God has done in our life. And of course, clearly Connor is a living testimony of God's grace and mercy and miracles, because like I said, he wasn't supposed to survive a year. And here we are 15 and a half years after the accident. He's still doing great. Clearly I would love for him to be completely healed and up running around, but that wasn't God's plan. And it's amazing looking back and seeing all the things that God has plugged me into just by using Connor's, his disability, by being an advocate on boards for our medical company and things like that. So, there's things that wouldn't have ever played out if we weren't in this situation. So
have you had folks that have come up to you or sent you an email or a text or whatever that maybe have heard your story, read the book, and just maybe they've gone through something or going through something similar? Because, you've got the initial accident and what happened, but then most folks don't know that from that point on to, let's say, today, it's quite a journey to get help and get apparati, whatever he needs.
yes,
It's a Medicare, Medicaid, medical, just all that stuff is that
yes,
sometimes can be a nightmare, and some parents just basically give up. Have you had folks like that?
yes. And because you're very correct. It is very hard. It's a constant battle. It's funny because as a little girl, I used to sit at the dinner table, not wanting to eat my food, and my mom wouldn't let me get up, made me sit there forever. I was that strong-willed, stubborn person. It's funny because now I'm like, well, that all paid off, because now the strong will, I don't take no for an answer very well. So it is, there's a lot of fights and all that. And so I have been able to actually help other people along the way that have reached out to me asking, hey, how'd you navigate this? Even grief part, how do you get up every day and move on and move forward and that kind of stuff. So I've learned that over the years, that is God's will for me, is to be able to help other people, whether it's navigating medical stuff or just learning how to walk through the life of grief and still be happy.
And you're doing a podcast too. Tell us about that.
Well, so actually, I don't have my own podcast yet, but I'm being plugged into podcast is what I'm doing, trying to just.
Okay, well, this is your thing. We're telling you, you're starting a new podcast.
Yes.
Congratulations, Sonya.
Like you need one more thing to do, Sonya.
So that is my passion. For one, because I want to be able to help other families. We, from the very beginning when we came home, one of the things I told my family was, we're not going to just hoard up in home and live this horrible, depressing, dark life. Connor was just a toddler. We're going to load up. We're going to go on vacations. We're going to go do things. We're going to figure out how to navigate this new life. And, I have people all the time go, oh my gosh, I can't believe you taking, to North Carolina from Oklahoma, on a ventilator. How do you do this? Are you not scared something will happen along the way? So, one of the things I'd love to do is start a podcast, and there's so many different angles I could go with it. I could even just help people like, hey, this is how we travel. This is what you need. Make sure you have everything.
Yeah.
Just enjoy life. Because it was one thing I wanted Connor to experience was life. I didn't want a depressing, dark life.
Yeah.
So it is my passion to have my own podcast one day and be able to help people with so many different angles of having a special needs child.
Awesome.
That would be so cool. Yeah, we want to see that in 2022 if you have the bandwidth to do that. We appreciate you and your entire family, and give our love to Connor, and we hope you have an amazing Christmas. We'd love to talk to you somewhere around Marchish in 2022, And then we'll ask you first thing, Sonya, have you got the podcast getting ready to roll? We'll ask you. We'll ask you.
I will make sure.
Yeah.
Sonya Hunter's book is called Unsurvivable. You'll want to read that. And then Dan has put up how you can follow her on Insta and the Facebook there. Hey, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.
Thank you.